There we go. Hello, welcome to Pieces of Pat Paints. I am Pat. I paint various things on the internet, mostly miniatures and models and sundry 3D objects. But you never know. Usually, been thinking about painting, like a painting. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done one of those, so I might. But you never know. Sometimes we, we just make things and paint that. You never know. It's a lot of fun. But right now, we were painting 40K. So if you're looking to learn how to paint 40K, it's definitely the place for you. We do a lot of miniature work, so you're going to be able to learn a lot of different kinds of things from the stuff we do on this channel. Let's see. I think that's all I got to say here early on. I am really excited to get onto these guys. Boop, doop, doop, doop. Bam. And turn that on too. There we go. Hey, I think I have everything working. I hope I have everything working. Who knows if everything is working? We'll see. Right now I see a chat, but it is a strange. I put it on this little bar. We're gonna see if that works. I kind of like it down there, but I don't know if I'm gonna. With the pole there, it's kind of hard to see what's going on. So the chats may fly by too fast, and I may not like it. I may have to switch back to what I was doing, but we shall see. Right. I think that's the fun part about teaching myself. I've basically been teaching myself how streaming works. I should probably have taken some sort of class. That would have been a lot easier, I think. But that's not how I roll. I am definitely I'm gonna bang my head against it until I learn it myself, and then we're gonna go on, which is definitely not the brightest way to go about things. But I think we can all admit to that sort of stuff, which is great. See, now I saw a comment and I can't see it because that pole's in the way. Yeah, we're gonna have to change that, aren't we? Here we go. Yeah. And that is why you have it going in two places. Let that figure itself out. Okay. Hey, it's Connor. I knew somebody commented. I can see it on my phone over here on the side that I use as my other monitor. And then, all right. So what we want to do today is we're going to come in and we're going to readjust this camera. Oh, I left Sean on the other one. I need to make sure I bring my, what are those things called? Labubu. We found that thing and I didn't realize what it was. Now that I'm like, hey, that's my buddy, and I'm like, oh man. And people are talking trash about Labubus, and I'm like, oh man, that's my buddy though. Aw. And my friend was like, bro, that thing's worth probably like $100, $120. It's like, you're serious. Alright, that's a little too much paint there. I really don't like getting my paint too far up close to my pole if I can help it. And that's your metal part there. Alright, so here we're just going to kind of pull some of this back in. I'm going to go a little thinner than this. I'm going to make this pretty thin. And try to avoid the crevices. Golly, Pat. Messing up already. If you do, just do that. Just get them wet. Pull it out of there. It'll be alright. There we go. It almost seems weird to come back and paint over the things we washed. But the idea is we're setting up a bunch of contrast layers so that it looks like it's been dirty for a long time. And then the other armors look green all the way through. This armor we want to make it look more white. Yeah, see, something's definitely not working right on my chat. Golly. I still haven't gotten this thing right, so I'll be checking the phone. Good to see you, Sir McBeardsly. Thank you, sir. Always nice to have you. I'll probably start seeing it here in a second. It's just got to get itself up over the pole. Which I don't know why that's on the... Oh, yeah, there it is. I see Connor finally. Ah, what a mess. See, I'm almost treating this like edge highlighting in a way. And remember, when it dries, it is going to have a very different color than it has right now. Especially if you make sure your paint's thin enough. What's your crevices? Got a long weekend to look forward to. Hey, that's awesome. Like good long weekend or not so good long weekend? I have a lot of, I get a lot of not so good long weekends. Or at least I have in my days. I guess I don't get that so much now. Now that I'm kind of retired. Let's just bring in that green back in here. We're going to let that just kind of chill out. And we'll have a really nice, nasty look. But he'll be much lighter than our other Death Guard. Which is what we want. That way, you know, one, he's the leader, and two, it just makes him look way older. Got some cousins coming over. 2 toddlers, 1 kid. Oh, yeah, don't rebuild that stuff. We don't need the ages. Yeah. That's gonna be crazy. 3 kids in the house. I got 4 around here. It's nuts. They're all fun, but woo-wee. It is definitely a lot. A lot in a good way, you know. Now I was looking at the cauldrons of these things, and they're all, not all of them were necessarily green. Some of them were white, and then they had like green symbols on them. So I think we're just gonna make him white, and we're not gonna worry about. And we'll say the symbols just got in. They're in the corruption. His heraldry is what that is called. Those symbols. It represents what part of the old Death Guard he could have been from. But I don't think that's necessary anymore. We're just going to my grandpa's house, clean the house. All right, gotta help out. That's good stuff. Sometimes you get to go away with some treasures when you clean grandparents' house. They're like, "Hey, here, you take this." You're like, "Yeah, finally, it's mine." I can't wait to have grandkids so I have some items that they can be like, "Oh yeah, it's finally mine." I have a bunch of things in this office that were my granddad's that I got in those moments. It's good stuff. Good stuff. The goal today is to get this armor knocked out so we don't have to keep coming back to it. Might be able to get a little more done today, but that was a good goal, I thought. Yeah, but after lots of surface prep here, we got a lot going on. On the back of this guy, I never did get the green. It got the brown. Didn't do a green wash for it. So we're gonna knock that out real quick. Let this set up, and we'll move on to some other things. Oh, we gotta green wash a bunch of this stuff as it dries anyway. Well, we'll have to come back here and do up its details in a bit. Oh, that's right, because we had gotten to this late on the oil, and I did a little bit off camera, but I didn't come back to it because I had to get him go. All right, so again, really thin. This is sap green. It's super thin. Be too thin for some spaces. Really trying to capture anywhere that we want that gooey green. You gotta kind of think about where stuff catches. See, like that. Not this tentacle is obviously in motion, so it's not necessarily going to catch so much under the tentacle as it would around here. So if we really focus on trying to get it in underneath there and like under here, it would look like the tentacle doesn't move. If we kind of make it look like the area around it is just shadow from the tentacle and not the actual slimy color from the model, then you can create the illusion that it's been on the move. Which is fun when you think about it. I love the nerdlings that are getting crushed under his boot. It's like the best part of this whole model, I swear. The whole thing is really cool, but like all those crushed nerdlings, that's fantastic. Alright, let's get some burnt cinnamon. Well, let's take a coffee break. That's all we got. 16 minutes in. Oh, man. Got a lot done pretty quickly. Oh, it's a picture of those pigs, yeah. Definitely need to do that. I want to see them. I probably know what they are. Why don't you show them to me? Although I don't guarantee that. Yeah, I don't know everything. That is definitely a place you have to come to in your life where you understand that you don't know everything. And that it is kind of impossible for any one person to know everything. Like all the smartest people I know will say, you know, they don't know everything. And that's the truth of it. No one person could possibly know everything. Oh, these things stink so bad. My hand's getting too old for twisting off these things. They're better than the old paint closures, but man, they're still pretty rough. Old paint closures, man, like they were hard to get off, and they leaked air, so your paint would get all messed up. At least on your fine paints. The old Citadel caps, I thought old Citadel jars were better than new Citadel jars for a long time. I don't know that I still feel that way, because I don't use a lot of Citadel product. But man, I feel like I probably do. I feel like I probably do. Oof, too watery, get out of there. Get out of there. There we go. That's why you should always be ready. We want this to be good and thin because we want it to almost be see-through. The gram kits are supposed to get spoiled. I mean, at least you're getting benefit with it, right? Getting the spoils as well. That ain't bad. Let that dry out, and then we'll drop some green on top of that. And I'm gonna work on his face. Okay, so part of that's a hose down there. Just ever so gently, ever so slowly. You want to give a little extra attention to your leader units, I think. Just because it, you know, you're kind of like the centerpiece of the army. Okay. Get this one down here. Big old ball right there. We don't need all that. Yeah. I do just a little right here. We kind of have an odd transition. Yeah, that cleaned it up a lot. We'll just lay that green back down in a minute. My face. I don't know, it seems like I'm like, oh, go slow because and let your stuff dry. But you kind of start learning how to move around to find the stuff that's dry and the stuff that's not. It takes a little practice. But yeah, now he's looking very Death Guardy. Always made point of saying, I could be wrong, I'll double check. Yeah, you definitely should. Yeah, definitely always double check your stuff. Or just straight up admit, like, hey, if somebody has contrary information, please reveal it. Okay. I'm gonna work on this weapon. So we need that, and we need. I got the Sienna. I need the Umber. Where'd that two go? I thought so. This tube's old. I don't know that closure's any better. It's kind of the same, but a little different. It's the transition between that style and the other one. There's a whole other style that was terrible. I remember it was. I think they were made out of. It felt like they were made out of metal. I could be wrong though. And then there's all sorts of different types of paint. So okay. So this is a burnt umber here. We're gonna run on the actual wood. And again, we're letting that zenithal highlight just do all the lifting there for us. Makes things so easy, so easy. We can even add a couple layers here, and it's gonna look great. Same thing with this next bit. This is a burnt sienna. Kind of just get our leather going. A sienna is a very thin pigment. So, and it feels like most of these burnt versions of paints are usually the pigment itself is a little thinner. So it really stands out great with your zenithals. If you did them right, then it will make painting this stuff super easy. And it'll look good too. Have a nice brown colors. And that's one of the things you really have to, if you want to get good at painting armies in particular, is learn how to vary up all the different browns and metallics. Because you can, unless you want to learn how to do non-metallic metal, you really really can change models by just varying the different browns and tones that you're using. You know, it's easy to make things pop when it's super colorful. It's hard to make things stand out with difference when it's, you know, earth tones. That really takes some skills. Okay. Stop. Slow down. I'm gonna do these incense clouds and those skulls up there. Use a phthalo blue for our clouds, or smoke. It's not really clouds. I don't know why I keep saying that. Nice and covered. Make sure you got it all the way in all the crannies. We want that dark blue in there in the bottoms. Okay, now there's a couple ways you can do this. The way I like doing it is I like kind of varying my stuff up as I come out. I'll make a bit of a mess, moving stuff around. Get my green messy green, so we've got over here. Where'd you go, T? Where'd you go? Teal, it's over here. There we go. Ah. So teal. My camera can't find it. There it is. And this sounds a little weird, but we want a tiny bit of this pale olive. Which is just Siberian. And we'll use it for a couple of other things. But actually, we'll use it for making rusty bronze work too. Okay. So now we're just trying to kind of grab the edges of everything. Take your time. And just kind of, if you're trying to tickle it with the brush, just tickle it. And if you get a little overpaint on this level, it's okay. We're really just trying to, all these colors will fade down and fade down. And in the end, it's going to be kind of almost whitish. So a lot of stuff in here is going to be forgiven later on down the road. There's a lot of trust in the process in painting in general. Not just miniature painting, but like all painting. You kind of have to trust that it's going to do what you want it to do. Now we're going to come back with just a little pale olive. Let's kind of thin down just a touch. See, while all that stuff's nice and wet, you can start getting those blends together here at the edge. You see how it's starting to fade. Now we'll go risk a little bit of white here on the very tips of things. White here, white here. Just kind of touch there, touch here. Pale olive again. Kind of starting where we let that white and pulling it with the pale olive down onto it. And now we're going to start trying to come down all the way on some of our highlights. Careful with that. Careful with your, don't overpaint too much of your stuff. Make sure you do the backs of your models. I got a lot of people that I've run into in years where like the fronts of their models look fantastic and then they just goofed off on the back. Like, if I see your model, I want to see that. I want to look at the back. I want to make sure the back looks good too. So there's, you know, that little bit of blue smoke coming out there. A lot of fun. I love those little pieces. Really makes things stand out. And I like the blue and the purple You know, again, like the back. Maybe make sure you paint the back up too. Make sure you do enough on the back to give it something characteristics. And a nice color change, you know. Yeah, he's starting to look great. Starting to look great. Alright, we wanted to do a little bit more work on these weapons. Now everything's right over here. We're talking about doing like an edge highlight here, which feels like a really good idea. This is Lead Belcher, which is a GW product. Just very carefully applying just a tiny little bit of paint to the edges. And then think about what makes sense. Like that edge, that's going to be a little more worn in, right? Because like this line, it's just going to be kind of a little line. It may have a few little bird outs or edges where it's got a little bit more, but you want it mostly, you don't want it quite as silver as that. So kind of right there where it's obviously something has hit it. I'm not sure what, but obviously something did. I need to come through on those and do it with silver. Again, learning how your metals will vary up, really helpful. There we go. Wonder how long it's been off in La La Land there. We missed there, or we just strike something wrong? Oh, I bet you that's from when we did the armor. Okay, I'll just go ahead and paint that. We'll leave that for now. We'll have to come back. Let's get that. Let's go drink a coffee. Think and think. That's what we'll do. Keep forgetting about this little bit down in here. Where the armor has split open. And his distended belly is all spilling out. Pretty gnarly. I really kind of dig it. Alright, we'll come back and throw some working on that in a minute. I'm still working on a few little details.
This one's got a little horn. That one's got a little horn. That looks like an arm. That's definitely a horn. Definitely a horn. I love those things. They're so funny. Okay. We're just gonna go ahead and paint that navel. We'll bring on the green on that later. We'll do some colors on some of this. That one will probably have to be green. We'll take a look at what other people did there too. And this is all just some... I hate when I come back and I find something I missed. Like, man, dang it. That's all just bronze, and that really needed to be done with it. When I put the wash on, oh yeah, I was contemplating what I was going to do with it. Whether I was going to paint them right there. Oh well. Okay. Second verse, same as the first. Again, that's phthalo blue. Pretty standard color for most art palettes. Fun thing about phthalo blue is that it is a synthetic color. It is not made out of a like things you crushed up. Like most things are made out of a powder of something that was crushed up, like a flower or a rock or something. But the phthalos are complete chemical colors. We created them using chemical experiments. So you don't have as many things painted in these colors back in the old days because they didn't exist. I saw something. Oh God, was it on YouTube or TikTok or somebody was like, "Oh, these colors didn't exist before." Da 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 da. And like the way that the video was making it sound was like you couldn't see this color because the color itself had not existed in all of creation. And like, okay, so light can create these colors anywhere at any time. So as like we learning how to create things as a paint versus how a spectrum of light works is not the same thing, and it made my brain just twist off in a circle. I was like, this guy's making me angry. It's like, that's not what that means. Colors exist in nature that we have not figured out a way to create a paint that exactly mimics it. And phthalo is one of those colors that we finally figured out how to mimic this color in reality. You know, the spectrum of light is the spectrum of light. If it didn't exist as a color, and you wouldn't be able to see it, like we wouldn't have had the idea, oh, hey, that's a blue, because blue wouldn't have existed. What it means is that like the particular way to make the pigment to get the paint to look the way we would see it in the world required a chemical thing, and so we didn't have that until the invention of chemical sciences. And there's my rant. Rant over. Or my rant for the day. Okay, I guess it's important to make sure you get in all the spots. It's really hard to tell if you paint a dark blue over black. It really does, but do your absolute best. It actually does show up. It doesn't seem like it does, but it does. Okay. And then come back with the teal. Be more liberal when you get to the tips, right? And you can always pull it back. We definitely want it, as it gets closer to the tips, get more and more of that teal color to it. Slowly but surely keep working your way through all of it. These are always those ooh ah spots. They come out real easily, and they look so good because it's you're just really just taking the model and letting the model tell you what to do with itself. But if you can make sure the colors come through really striking, it will make your model look fantastic, and people will ooh and ah over it. And you go like, man, that wasn't even the hardest part to do. So now down here, what I remember is that it's almost black down there, doesn't it? So you don't, it will fade as it dries. It's gonna fade down, way down in there. So we want to, where we do want some separation between darks and lights. You don't want too much because then it starts to look. It doesn't look like it's smoke, and it just looks like, you know, a liquid, which isn't. We don't want it to look like that. So we're really trying to lighten up a lot of this. And it seems a lot faster on the smaller one, of course, because, well, it's smaller. A lot of tricks on this is just to keep working layers. So we're going to layer after layer after layer. Now we're kind of onto that pale olive. And it really will start lightening things up. If you've got it nice and thin, it will kind of sit in some of those crevices and let them bring them back up just a touch without losing all their darkness and their contrast. So it will look a little bit more smoky. And these are thicker stuff on the other edges. It's one of the reasons why I really like using more traditional art paints, because it does have a thicker quality to it that you can manipulate. You have more room for manipulation of the thicknesses of your paint. Now I don't think everybody should do their stuff this way, because it definitely takes some learning and a little bit of patience and a pretty good eye for colors. Like, you've got to be able to know how to, because you know the miniature companies, they make a ton of colors, so it's just, you can just buy a color, but a lot of times they don't have that color in more traditional paint sets. Metallics are the big ones. Like I've definitely I have to find metallics on where I can. I'm always looking for the ones I like the most. The bronze I like the most is an art paint. It's not a miniature paint. And it definitely comes down to just being about the pigments, really. Like, what do you, and the medium, like, what do you like it to do? What do you want your paint to do? Do you like it to be thin? Do you like it to be thick? What's most comfortable? That's why I also say you should watch as many different painters as possible. Study as many different types of techniques as you can. You'll learn something a little bit different from everywhere you look. And some stuff will work for you and some stuff won't. You keep the stuff that does. Stop worrying about the stuff that doesn't, and go on. If you feel like you've done something in an error, you can always, soak it in some some alcohol and take it all off there. Start over. And that's just titanium white. Come on. Sometimes it's hard to tell you got it on your brush. Looking real good. Got a few little things to finish up. We'll have to do that on Monday. Oh, thanks, Mom. Yeah, but he's a little bit different from our other color scheme, and that way, done that way on purpose. That way, it really helps him stand out, and it gives us some fun stories, like a fun lore for the little army, which is great. I might. Most of the stuff's just basic stuff, so I might work on it in between now and then, but I might just save it. Matter of fact, yeah, we'll come back on him. I got plenty of other stuff to do. I'll start working on these Death Watch Marines some more, and then we'll be back on next week, because today is Friday. So we'll be back on Monday to do the thing again. There we go. Now I can see everybody better. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for everybody that chit chatted. Good to see you, Connor, and Sir McBeardsly, as always. And thanks to everybody who gave us any likes and subscribes. All those things are super important, and I really appreciate it. It's awesome. Like I love that people think that this is entertaining enough to watch. And I mean, I like doing it because I have a place to archive my work, and it really, like, I can go back and I can look at the beginning when I started doing it live and see how much better I've gotten at filming it and at the actual making the novels look good too. So it's a fun experience for me, and I'm glad that other people like it too. I think that's neat. So anyway, you just have a great weekend. Be safe. Connor, enjoy all of the people at your house, and yeah, be good to each other. Be good to somebody else. Be good to somebody you know. Be good to yourselves, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.